welcome back to Movie Review Mom. And if this is your very first time here, yay, you found me. I'm so glad. I hope you like what you see and I hope you subscribe. And my goal here at Movie Review Mom is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision for you and your family as to whether or not you want to spend your time and money watching a specific film. So the movie I'm reviewing today is called Coming to America. This is the sequel, and it is currently available on Amazon Prime. If you don't have Amazon Prime, I've got a special coupon in the description below where you can get a free 30-day trial in case you want to watch this movie or any of the other hundreds of thousands, I don't know how many they've got, tons of movies that they have available for members. And I love Amazon Prime. They've got tons of stuff to watch, as well as an opportunity to rent or purchase other films that aren't offered for free to the Prime members. Anyway, let me tell you about this movie. I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell. I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, and even some recommendations for other movies that I think you'll also like if you like this one. So first of all, this movie is rated PG-13, which is interesting because the original Coming to America was rated R. This one is an hour and 49 minutes, and I'm going to tell you my Movie Review Mom score at the end of my review. So in a nutshell, we have waited 33 long years for this nostalgic sequel. So the question is, was it worth the wait? Great question, and I'm going to answer that in just a few minutes. First of all, this was going to have a theater release in August of 2020, but of course, because of the pandemic, Paramount Pictures ended up actually selling the worldwide rights to Amazon Studios to show on Amazon Prime. The original Coming to America had charm and originality, but sadly, this sequel has neither one. Wah, wah. Well, there's the spoiler. You know, my grade's probably not going to be very good. It sounds like Eddie Murphy has high hopes for this movie, however, because he's already talked about creating a third one to go into this trilogy or would-be trilogy. And he has decided he will be 75 years old when he films it, making Arsenio Hall 80 years old. He doesn't want to have makeup and prosthetics. He wants it to be like legit him as a 75-year-old monarch. So we'll see if that actually happens. So let me tell you some of the things I really liked about the movie. First of all, I thought it was really fun to see almost the entire cast return for this sequel. Sadly, there are a few people missing. One is Madge Sinclair, who previously played Queen Aeolian Jaffer. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but she actually passed away from cancer back in 1995. Samuel L. Jackson's character was also supposed to be returning with a cameo of his robbing the McDowell's fast food chain again. But Samuel L. Jackson was too busy actually filming another movie that he didn't have time. Eric LaSalle, who played Daryl in the original movie, was also too busy directing Chicago PD, that TV series. I don't know if you watched that or not. So he wasn't able to come and make a cameo performance either. But we do have a lot of the original cast returning, including the legendary James Earl Jones. He and his voice are just epic. And so I was so thrilled that he was able to join in on the fun. In real life, his voice, of course, is known as Darth Vader in Star Wars, but he actually lends his voice to recording the "This is CNN." If you ever watch CNN, that's James Earl Jones's voice. And so I thought it was really cute that for this movie, he has the recording voice of "This is ZNN," you know, for Zamunda. And so I thought that that was just kind of a cute little Easter egg for fans of James Earl Jones, and I'm a big fan. There's also a comment about General Izzy claiming to be the inspiration for Mufasa, which of course is the name of the lion that James Earl Jones voiced in the epic movie, The Lion King. So there's a lot of James Earl Jones going on in the movie, which I love. And of course, everyone loves Eddie Murphy. His daughter in real life plays his character's middle daughter, Amma. And did you notice that Akeem's oldest daughter's name is Mika, which is Akeem spelled backwards? Did you check that out? So if you're a true Eddie Murphy fan, you'll also notice some additional Easter egg moments from other movies like Dolomite is My Name, Trading Places, Delirious. So see if you can spot those little things. One thing Eddie Murphy does very well in his movies is share the spotlight with all of his friends and the cast, and he absolutely does that in this movie as well. Jermaine Fowler is introduced as Eddie Murphy's son, and he loved the very first Coming to America so much that he actually recorded the barbershop scenes onto his family's answering machine so that callers could hear all the old men's banter when they called on the telephone. So that's amazing. I love stories like that. There are singing performances, including cameo performances by Terry Ellis, Ronna Bennett, Cindy Herron as In Vogue, Cheryl James and Peppa as Salt and Peppa, Gladys Knight and John Legend. Unfortunately, they're all very, very short, but I still loved seeing them for the short amount of time that we got to. The African costumes in the movie are just fun and creative, colorful, and really lend that environment and atmosphere that the movie was hoping to achieve. So mission accomplished there. The movie, surprisingly, was mostly filmed in the home of the hip hop star Rick Ross. Apparently, his house is so huge, and so they just dressed it up a little bit to make it look like a palace. He also owns a ton of acreage on his property, so even the scenes of the African plains were filmed in his backyard. That's amazing. So for the film, the crew actually changed the dining room wallpaper and bought a 60-seat dining room table. It's that large. And Rick Ross apparently loved it so much that he kept the wallpaper and the crew gave him the dining room table to keep as a gift. So that's super nice. And again, I love hearing fun facts about movies and things like that. By the way, Rick Ross also stars in the movie as the Nextorian commander. So I thought that that was really fun. The movie premiered in several locations, including the Queen's Drive-In in New York City, which was a location that was featured in the original movie and in this movie. So look out for that. And then they gave away a swag bag at the premiere at these locations that included a container of Soul Glow. There are also quite a few references to Kenya throughout the movie through words and items that are used. So if you are a fan of Kenya or looking for some authenticity, you'll actually find that. And I love it when filmmakers really pay attention to details and give something for their audiences to sink their teeth into. Keep watching during the final credits to see some funny outtakes of the cast, as well as bloopers and a really sweet musical clip from the amazing John Legend. I love that guy. All right, now with all of that praise, you're probably wondering, well, what didn't you like? Well, let me tell you. First of all, the movie felt like such a big money grab that I was kind of embarrassed for Eddie Murphy. There are lots of merchandising opportunities, and some of the cameo performances kind of felt like Eddie Murphy just owed people a favor or something. Eddie Murphy wanted Tracy Morgan in the movie, even though Arsenio Hall pointed out that he and Eddie are about the same age, and so it wouldn't work. But Eddie Murphy just really wanted Tracy Morgan in the movie because he thought he was really funny. And some of the appearances felt like that he just wanted them to be in his movie, even though their appearance felt a little forced in the movie. Some of the characters will actually get on your nerves, and that's not good. There's some poorly done CGI moments, and the story itself is just so forced, and it has a nonsensical ending. Now, I know it's a comedy, so it doesn't have to make sense, but again, it just didn't flow. It just felt very, very forced. What's sad is that I always write down really funny lines and interesting lines so that I can share them with you during my movie review. But when I looked back at my notes, I realized I hadn't written anything. That's not good, especially for a comedy. That's super sad, right? Now, I really like Eddie Murphy, don't get me wrong, but the film, I think, because of its 33-year buildup, was just overall very disappointing. So let me give you some tips for parents before I give you my final score. So first of all, there's so much talk and joking around about sex. So even though you don't see a lot of stuff, there is one scene that's kind of inappropriate. I felt like the content really did feel more rated R. There's some profanity, although no F-bombs, so that's good. That dropped the score down to a PG-13. There are scantily clad women. There is a lot of talk of intimate relationships outside of marriage. Alcohol and drugs are kind of seen and portrayed, and it's just not that great of a movie that you want your kids to get invested in. If they like this movie, they're going to want to see the rated R version, the original movie. So I would just skip it as family viewing for sure. There are some themes that are worth talking about, though, with your friends or whomever you watch the movie with, such as family, heritage, ancestry, respect, honoring your family tree, rules and law, female empowerment, of course, like every other movie out there, change, and claiming your power. All right, so the movie review mom grade I'm giving it is, and I say this as I cringe because I hate giving movies bad scores, but I'm giving it a D for disappointing and dumb. So there you have it. All right, before we go, let me leave you with some recommendations of other movies that I think you might actually enjoy better. Of course, you can watch the original, which is better, but a fun, family-friendly movie of sorts that my boys just got the biggest kick out of growing up is White Chicks. We still watch it again and again. Another movie that really celebrates the spirit of African community is, of course, Black Panther. So if you haven't seen that one, definitely check that out. Yes, it's a Marvel superhero movie, but it introduces you to Wakanda, which is kind of what Zamunda is attempting to imitate. And then another movie that I think celebrates African-American community and is a comedy and very well done is Black Klansman. So it's not really a comedy, but it has some very funny moments in it. And it's based on a true story. So check those out. I've got links to all of those down below. All right, that's it for my review. Thank you all for supporting me here by subscribing, commenting down below, liking the video. And if you really love the mission that I'm striving to accomplish here on my YouTube channel, then run over to Patreon. Check out all of the gifts and the fun things that I have to offer there. And finally, be sure and ring that little bell and it'll notify you every time I upload new videos and trailer reactions, which is almost every single day. All right, until I catch you in the next one, bye for now.